Hi students, welcome to DS Economics channel. Today we are going to discuss 2018 February Kerala State Eligibility Test Economics Previous Year question. This is your part number 1. In this part we are going to discuss from question number 1 to 40 question. So those who come for the first time, please subscribe to this channel, and those who do not watch the previous videos, I have given all the previous videos in a playlist, so you can watch the playlist. I have given the link of the playlist in the description box so that you can watch all the previous year videos from 2023 to 2018. So let's start today's videos. Kerala's 2018 February set. So today's first question number 1. Which among the following is a correct statement? Marshall's substitution effect greater than Sulsky substitution effect greater than Higgs substitution effect, or less than or equal. So what? Marshall, then Sulsky and Higgs. We know that Higgs and Sulsky equation we learn from the price effect is equal to income plus substitution effect. So Higgs substitution effect, first one is Higgs substitution effect. We know in Higgs substitution effect, the effect holds utility constant by adjusting income to allow the consumer to reach the same level of satisfaction after a price change. Then Sulsky equation, Sulsky substitution effect, this effect compensate the consumers for the change in purchasing power by adjusting income so that they can afford the same bundle of goods as before the price change. Then Marshall substitution effect, I think this is not widely used in economic theory in same as Higgs and Sulsky, but Marshall and demand function, it refers to more of the total change in quantity demand due to both substitution and income effect without separating them. So these are the concepts about the effects of Higgs, Sulsky and Marshall. But in comparison to substitution effect, here no one is greater than other. Here in substitution effect we can see that all are equal, because all the three concepts like Marshall's, Sulsky, Higgs, they all are equal here, because it refers to the same fundamental idea of how consumer adjusts their consumption pattern in response to changes in relative prices and holding utility constant. So the main difference between them lie in how they decompose income and substitution effect in the broader analysis of the price changes. But the substitution effect itself remain the same in all cases. So here answer should be option number D. Marshall, Sulsky and Higgs substitution effect all are equal. Then question number 2. A risk-loving person's total utility curve of income is dash to income axis, concave, parallel, convex, or none of this. So question is, a risk-loving person's total utility curve of income is dash. It is generally it is risk-loving person's, its total utility curve of income is convex to income axis, because here a risk-loving person's utility curve is convex. So option C is right, because this means that as income increases, their marginal utility to income increases. When income increases, marginal utility to income increases. In other words, they derive more satisfaction from each additional unit of income. When income increases, their satisfaction increases. Then which explain why they prefer risky options with potentially higher payoffs. So here the shape of the total utility curve is convex. Then question 3. Dash effect makes the demand curve positively sloped. Dash effect makes the demand curve positively sloped. Snob effect, bandwagon demonstration, or Veblen. Generally, if we first one is snob effect. Snob effect means this occurs when consumers buy goods because they are exclusive or scarce. That is called snob effect. So the more common or widely available a product becomes, the less desirable to eat to a snob consumer. So in this snob effect, a rare product. Like in this case, the demand decreases as more people own the product. So it indicating an inverse relation between demand and popularity. So this is not right here. Means demand is not positively sloped. Then bandwagon effect. Bandwagon effect. This effect occurs when people buy goods to confer to the preferences or behaviors of others. By showing others, they buy. Bandwagon effect. So if more people start using a product, others are likely to follow. So it increasing demand, but it reflect a situation where demand increases as more people buy the good, but the demand curve remains negatively sloped. So this is not correct here. Then demonstration effect. Demonstration means this effect suggests that individuals imitate the consumption pattern of others, and particularly those they admire to or consider to be higher social status. So seeing others consume a product can influence a person's preference and increase the demand for that product. However, this doesn't necessarily lead to a positively sloped demand curve like the other effect. So this is not correct. Demonstration is not correct. Then last one is Veblen good. This is the right answer, because Veblen effect, it refers to the phenomenon. Veblen effect, it refers to the phenomenon where higher prices lead to higher demand. When price of goods rises, its demand also rises. Veblen goods, because the product is perceived as a status symbol. Here Veblen means it perceives as a status symbol. So this make the demand curve positively sloped as consumers derive utility from the prestige associated with the higher price. Here more the price, then more demand. So this associated with status or prestige of the person. So this is called as Veblen good, positively sloped. Snob means a rare product. Bandwagon and demonstration means from others we imitate others consumption pattern. Then Veblen means when price of goods rises, price of luxurious goods rises. When price of luxurious good rises, we buy more of that. So this is called as Veblen. So right option is option number D. Then question number 4, the elasticity of demand is high when elasticity of demand is high. Percent of income spent on commodity is relatively low. No, when income spent on commodity is relatively low, then elasticity demand is low. Then lower is the price of the commodity. No, a commodity has more substitutes available. Yes, the elasticity of demand is high. Elasticity of demand means change in demand is high when commodity has more substitutes available. Substitute goods like tea and coffee are substitute goods. So the elasticity of demand is higher when consumers can easily switch to other goods in response to a price change. So when more substitutes are available, the demand for the product becomes more sensitive to price changes. So it leading to higher price elasticity. So option C is right here, and option A and B are here incorrect, because they tend to imply lower elasticity if the percentage of income spent on a commodity is low, or if the price is low, price of the commodity is low, then people are less responsive to price changes, so leading to lower elasticity of demand. And higher elasticity is when a commodities have more substitutes available. So option C is right here. Then question number 5, the theory of monopolistic competition. Monopolistic competitive market is popularized by Conrad Baumol, Maurice Chamberlain. Monopolistic competition given by Chamberlain, Edward Chamberlain. You know the theory of monopolistic competition popularized by Edward Chamberlain through his work, the theory of monopolistic competition in 1933. In his article, the theory of monopolistic competition. So he introduced the concept of a market structure where many firms sell differentiated product, each having some degree of market power but still facing competition from others. So this monopolistic competition concept popularized by Chamberlain. Then question number 6, which of the following relations hold good? MR is equal to P into 1 minus 1 by E. Yes, this is the right option. Other are incorrect. MR, marginal revenue, is equal to price into 1 minus 1 by E. So this is the formula for marginal revenue in relation to P, means price, and price elasticity of demand, or E. Then it shows that marginal revenue depends on the price of the product and how responsive the quantity demanded is to change a change in price, that is the price elasticity of demand. Here E means elasticity. When elasticity is greater than 1, MR is positive but less than P, and when elasticity is equal to 1, then unitary elastic demand, MR curve equal to 0. Then if elasticity less than 1, then MR becomes negative. So your option A is right. Then question number 7, in a cupped glass production function, elasticity of substitution equal to 2 unity infinity 0. In cupped glass production function means cupped glass production function, Q is equal to A L alpha into K to the power beta. So here alpha plus beta is equal to 1. It elasticity of substitution equal to unity or 1. In cupped glass production function, the elasticity of substitution between inputs is equal to 1. This means that the proportionate change in the input ratio will lead to a proportionate change in the marginal rate of technical substitution. So here value is elasticity of substitution equals to 1 in cupped glass production function. Then question number 8, who developed the concept of tragedy of commons? Tragedy of commons given by 𝙁𝙍𝙀𝙀. Option number A is right here. 𝙁𝙍𝙀𝙀 in 1968. So this concept illustrates how individuals acting in their own self-interest can deplete or shared resources, leading to negative consequences for the whole community, like in public good. Tragedy of common given by 𝙁𝙍𝙀𝙀. Then learner's index of monopoly is, learner index of monopoly, P minus AC by P or P minus MC by P. Yes, learner's index of monopoly is P minus MC by P. Here learner's index of monopoly measures the degree of market power a firm has by showing the difference between the price and the marginal cost as the proportion of the price. So it indicates how much a price can make up its price above marginal cost. So learner's index of monopoly is P minus MC by P. Then question number 10, when elasticity equals 1, then MR positive, negative, 0 or 2. When elasticity equal to 1, then MR is marginal revenue is 0, because this indicates that a change in price doesn't affect total revenue. So change in price doesn't affect total revenue, as the increase in revenue from selling additional unit is exactly offset by the decrease in revenue from lowering the price. So here MR is also 0. When elasticity is equal to 1, MR is 0. Then question number 11, according to Alfred Marshall, what happened? Economics is concerned with the nature and causes of wealth of nation. No, this was given by Adam Smith. Wealth of nation. Economics is the study of mankind in the ordinary business of life. It examines that part of individual and social action which is most closely connected with the attainment and use of material requisite of well-being. Then economics is the science which studies human behavior as a relation between ends and scarce means, which is alternative uses, scarcity definition Robbins. Then economics is a study of allocation of scarce means capable of alternative uses among competing ends for the attainment of a maximum result in the achievement of these ends. So from this definition, Alfred Marshall's concept is option number B. Here Alfred Marshall definition of economics is best captured in option number B, because option number B says that economics is the study of mankind in the ordinary business of life. It examines that part of individual and social action which is most closely connected with the attainment and use of material requisite of well-being. So this definition emphasizes the practical and social aspect of economic behavior. So option B is right here according to Alfred Marshall. Then question number 12, for perfect substitutability between x and y. For perfect substitutability between x and y, MRSXY should be increasing, decreasing, constant, none. So for perfect substitutability between x and y, MRSXY should be constant for perfect substitution, because this means that the marginal rate of substitution remains the same regardless of the quantities of x and y consumed, but the marginal rate of substitution remains the same. So MRS should be constant in case of perfect substitute case. Then question number 13, kink in the kink demand curve signifies. Kink means a bend position, just like that. This is the in this point the curve is demand curve is kink. So a kink in the kink demand curve signifies a sudden change in consumers' taste and preference, a rigid price for the product. Yes, a rigid price for the product. Then when rigid price for the product arises, then the shape of the demand curve becomes kink, because the kink demand curve model suggests that firms face a demand curve that is more elastic for price increases. When price increases, the demand curve is more elastic here, and less elastic for price decrease, and when price decrease, the shape of the demand curve is less elastic, so leading to price rigidity in oligopolistic market. So this is the reason a rigid price for the product. Then question number 14, if a commodity sold under monopoly is got free of cost, then MC will be. When commodity sold on monopoly is got free of cost, when monopoly firm sell free of cost, the good is free of cost, available in free of cost, then MC, marginal cost, will be identical with marginal revenue, identical with x-axis, horizontal straight line above x-axis, or identical with y-axis. So here, if a commodity sold under monopoly got free of cost, then MC will identical with MR, no, identical with x-axis. Yes, then MC, marginal cost, is identical with x-axis. Marginal cost is identical with x-axis, because if we see in a monopoly situation where a commodity is available free of cost, the marginal revenue of producing an additional unit is equal to the marginal revenue received from the selling that unit. Option right option is identical with MR, not x-axis. Identical with, it is identical with MR curve, because in monopoly situation where the commodity is available for free, the marginal revenue cost of producing an additional unit is equal to the marginal revenue received from selling that unit. So it is identical with MR curve. So option A is right here. Then question number 15, the decrease in marginal propensity to save lead to increase in the value of multiplier, decrease in the value of multiplier remains same or not. So a decrease in the MPS, marginal propensity to save, it lead to generally first lead to increase the marginal propensity to consume. When MPS decreases, then it increase the MPC, marginal propensity to consume, it increase the MPC, which lead to higher multiplier. When MPC increase, then multiplier or K, it increases, then which leads to higher multiplier effect in the economy. So the decrease in marginal propensity to save lead to increase in the value of multiplier. So option A is right here. Then question number 16, a rectangular hyperbola is the shape of total fixed cost, average fixed cost, or marginal fixed cost. So rectangular hyperbola shape is AFC, average fixed cost, because AFC's shape is just like that, AFC. So a rectangular hyperbola means just downward sloping. It is called as rectangular hyperbola. It shows the relationship between average fixed cost and output. So as AFC, average fixed cost, decreases, then output increases, while the total fixed cost here remain constant. So option B is right here. So TFC, shape of total fixed cost. This is the shape of fixed cost is fixed for all units, but average fixed cost is rectangular hyperbola. Then question number 17. Which of the following is not correctly matched? Marginal productivity theory of distribution. Marginal productivity theory of distribution given by Clark. Yes, this is right. Then ordinal measurement of utility. Higgs. Ordinal measurement of utility. Higgs. Right. Then monopolistic competition. Jevon. No. Monopolistic competition given by Edward Chamberlain or Joan Robinson. So these are the economics related with monopolistic competition, not Jevons. So this is incorrect. Then option number D, law of equimarginal utility. Gaussian's second law, Gaussian's first law of diminishing marginal utility, Gaussian's second law of equimarginal utility. So this is right here. So option C is incorrect here. Not correctly matched is option number C. Then question number 18, list 1, list 2. Differential rent, quasi rent, compensation principle of welfare, impossibility theorem given by Arrow. Then differential rent, David Ricardo. Then quasi rent, Alfred Marshall. Then compensation principle, Higgs and Kaldor. So A for B to C3, A for B to C3 D1, option number A. So A is right here. Then question number 19, an increase in demand involves, when demand increases, then what happened? A reduction in price, increase in price, actual shift of the entire demand curve to the left, or actual shift of the entire demand curve to the right. So a increase in demand, when demand increases, then there will be a new demand curve. When demand increases, then the new demand curve is shift to the right, because we know that an increase in demand means that at every price level consumers are willing to purchase more of the good, which shift the demand curve to the right, D to D1. Demand curve here total a new demand curve. So demand curve shift to the right, and in actual shift of the entire demand curve to the right when increase in demand. So option D is right here. Then question number 20, king demand curve occurs in oligopoly because the firm feels that when king demand curve occurs, this type of situation arises. In which situation? If he raises his price, other firms in the industry will leave their price low. Yes, when one firm raises prices, other do not follow. But when one firm lowers his price, other firm in the industry will follow. So both A and B right here, because we know that the king demand curve model in oligopoly suggests that if a firm raises its price, competitors may not follow. If one firm raises its price, competitors may not follow. But so it shows if other firm also raise their price, it lead to a loss of the market share. So they do not follow. Then conversely, if one firm lowers the price, then competitors are likely to match their price decrease, because it resulting in minimal gain in the market share. So other firms lower the price. So if one firm raise the price, other do not follow. But if one firm decrease his price, then other follow. So this is the situation of king demand curve. So both A and B is the right answer. Then question number 21, marginal cost is given by the slope of the total fixed cost, or the slope of the total variable cost but not by the slope of the total cost curve, or the slope of the total cost curve but not by the slope of the total variable cost, or either the slope of the total variable cost or the slope of the total cost. So the marginal cost is given by either from total cost or total variable cost. So here option D is right, because we know that marginal cost can be determined by the slope of both the total cost curve and total variable cost, as both reflect the change in cost with respect to a change in output. So here option D is right here. Then question number 22. In a two commodity X and Y and two individual A and B economy, the maximum social welfare is reached at which position? At any point of the grand utility possibility curve, at any point on the social welfare function, or the point where MRTS XY is equal to MRS XY for A and B, or the point of tangency of grand utility possibility frontier with social welfare function. Yes, this is the right option, because in a two commodity X and Y and two individual A and B in the economy, the maximum social welfare is reached when the point of tangency of grand utility possibility frontier with social welfare function. We know that grand utility possibility frontier, and this is the when this is the point, equilibrium point, when the grand utility possibility frontier and social welfare function tangent, it is called as the maximum social welfare reached. So option D is right here, because we know that this point represent the maximum social welfare because it reflect the optimal allocation of resources between the individuals while maximizing overall utility. So the point of tangency between the grand utility possibility frontier and the social welfare function, it represent the point of bliss. This is called as the point of bliss, which signifies the maximum attainable social welfare given the constraints of an economy where the distribution of utility among individuals is considered optimal according to the chosen social welfare function. So here option D is right here. Then question number 23. The market situation where the monopolistic buyer of an input faces the monopolistic seller of an input. When monopolistic buyer and seller faces, it is called as bilateral monopoly. Yes, it is called as bilateral monopoly, because this situation occurs when there is a single buyer or monopolist and a single seller, means monopolist in the market, creating a unit market dynamism. It is called as bilateral monopoly, single buyer and single seller interaction. Then question number 24. Under fixed exchange rate system, an expansionary monetary policy always lead to dash in the balance of payment, and a contractionary monetary policy will always lead to dash in the balance of payment. When expansionary monetary policy, it lead to deterioration in the balance of payment, and when a contractionary monetary policy, it always lead to an improvement in the balance of payment. Just reverse, expansionary deterioration and contractionary improvement, because this situation occurs when there is a single buyer or monopolist, and this situation occur when under a fixed exchange rate, an expansionary monetary policy always leads to a deterioration in the balance of payment, and a contractionary monetary policy always lead to improvement in the balance of payments. Because if his first phase is expansionary monetary policy, expansionary monetary policy means when a central bank expands the money supply, it lowers interest rate. When in expansionary monetary policy, when central bank expands the money supply, or when money supply increase in the economy, it lowers interest rate down lowers, then which can incentivize people to invest abroad. When interest rate decreases, people investment in the abroad, not in the home country, investment in the abroad. So it leading to a capital outflow and worsening the balance of payment. When capital goes from the country, capital outflow occur here, then it lead to, when capital outflow is there, it lead to worsening the balance of payment. Here balance of payment worsen or decreases. So when expansion and monetary policy occur. Then when contractionary monetary policy, when we take contractionary monetary policy, this is the reverse of expansionary. When conversely it tighten the monetary policy, when we reduce the money supply by raising interest rate, makes domestic investment more attractive, and it lead to capital inflow and an improvement in the balance of payment. When contractionary monetary policy arises, it improves the balance of payment situation. So option A is right here. Then question number 25, according to the age theory of money supply, high powered theory of money supply of money in an economy is determined by monetary base, reserve deposit ratio, currency deposit ratio, all of this. So here the supply of money in the economy determined by all of this. First one is monetary base. Monetary base means the total amount of money created by central bank, including currency in circulation, bank reserve. These are the monetary base. Then reserve deposit ratio, it means the required reserve ratio set by the central bank. This is called as the reserve deposit ratio, required reserve ratio. Then currency deposit ratio, it is the ratio of money held by the public in currency to that they hold in bank deposit. So all of these are included in the high powered money of supply of money in an economy. So all of these are right. Then question number 26, if there is no discrepancy between expected rate and actual rate of inflation, there is no discrepancy between expected rate and actual rate of inflation, then Phillips curve will be horizontal, downward sloping, vertical or diagonal. Here Phillips curve will be vertical in the long run. We know that in the long run Phillips curve is vertical in the long run, and in the short run Phillips curve is just downward sloping, trade off between inflation and unemployment. This is in the short run and this is in the long run. The shape of the Phillips curve will be vertical. So option C is right here, because we know that in this case there is no trade off between inflation and unemployment in the long run. Here there is no trade off or relation between inflation and unemployment. So the shape of the Phillips curve is vertical in long run. Then question number 27, at any point on the days the quantities of money supplied and the demanded are equal. At any point of the days, IS curve, LM curve or total product curve or marginal product curve. At any point of the LM curve, we know that the quantities of money supply and demand are equal. This is the shape of IS curve, downward sloping, and this is the shape of LM curve, upward sloping. Here at any point the quantities of money supply and demand are equal here in the LM curve. So option B is right here. Then question number 28, here C is equal to 30 plus 0.90y, then APC is equal to 20, MPC is equal to 0, APS 80 or autonomous consumption 30. Here we know that the equation C is equal to A plus BY. Just in this form the equation is written. C is equal to consumption function, A means autonomous consumption. Here in place of A, that is written 30. Then 30 will be the autonomous consumption, because A is the autonomous consumption. So here 30 is autonomous consumption. So autonomous consumption here, autonomous consumption is 30. Then B means MPC, marginal propensity to consume. So marginal propensity to consume value is 0.90. Here marginal propensity to consume is 20. No, it is 0.90. So Y means disposable income. So this is not data is not given. So here only right option is autonomous consumption, that is A is equal to here 30. So autonomous consumption is 30. Then question number 29, if consumption function passes through the origin, if consumption function passes through the origin, or we can say APC, here APC is equal to MPC, it must be linear without any intercept, non-linear without any intercept, linear with a negative intercept on the income axis, or linear with a positive intercept on the consumption axis. So here question is, if consumption function passes through the origin, then it must be linear without any intercept. So option A is right here. because we know that a linear function is one with a constant slope. Linear function is constant slope. Then constant slope, and the slope of the consumption function is, we know that slope of the consumption function is MPC, means marginal propensity to consume. So the general form of a linear equation of consumption, just in the previous equation we just discussed, C is equal to A plus BY. So here C is consumption, and B means the slope or MPC, and Y means this is the national income, and the constant A represent the vertical intercept. So this is linear without any intercept if consumption function passes through the origin. Then question number 30, list 1, list 2. List 1, in the list 1 given the name of economist, then their concept. So Keynes, Friedman, Duesenberry, Hicks. Keynes given the concept, Keynes promoting a liquidity trap. Yes, Keynes given the concept of liquidity trap. Milton Friedman given the permanent income hypothesis. Then Duesenberry given the concept of red-chat effect or demonstration effect, bandwagon effect, red-chat effect, Duesenberry. Then Hicks given the concept of ISLF model. So A2, B1, C4, D3. A2, B1, C4, D3. Yes, it is in the option number A. Then question number 31, Fisher effect describe the full employment of nominal GDP to a change in the price level, nominal interest rate to a change in the inflation rate, nominal exchange rate to a change in the price level. So here Fisher effect describe the full adjustment of nominal interest rate to a change in the inflation rate. Option number B, because we know that the Fisher effect, it describes the relationship between nominal interest rate and inflation, and how nominal interest rate adjusts to change in inflation. Here this is the right option. Then question number 32, J curve represent the phenomenon where the depreciation of the currency causes. J curve, first this is the shape of J curve. First, when depreciation occurs, it worsens the economy, then it improves. First worsen, then improve. So trade balance to initially remain same, trade balance to initially worsen, trade balance initially improve. Initially it worsen, then improve. So initially it worsen the economy, because the J curve effect describe how a country's trade balance respond to currency depreciation over time. Initially, when a currency depreciate, then imports become more expensive and export become cheaper for foreign buyers. So however, the trade balance doesn't immediately improve. First it worsen, then improve. So option B is right here. Trade balance to initially worsen, then improve. Then question number, first initially worsen, in the initial phase we know that. So at first the trade balance may worsen because the demand for imports remain relatively inelastic here. So consumers and businesses may continue to purchase imported goods at higher prices, while the benefit from cheaper export take time to materialize as foreign consumer adjust their purchasing behavior. So first it initially worsen, then it improve, then improve. First worsen, then improve. Then the second phase it improve, because over time as currency depreciation leads to increased competitiveness of exports, then foreign demand for those goods rises and domestic consumers begin to substitute imported goods with locally produced alternative. So this results in an improvement in the trade balance. So this is the right option. Then question number 33, the ratio of the marginal value of the capital stock to the rental cost of capital is termed as Tobin marginal Q, managerial Q, or acceleration coefficient, or multiplier. So here it is called as Tobin's marginal Q. Tobin's marginal Q is the ratio of marginal value of capital stock to its rental cost, it indicating how firms access investment opportunity. So option A is right here. Then question number 34, Waller's law states that the sum of the excess demand for money, bonds, and current output must equal negative, positive, zero. So according to Waller's, it states that the sum of the excess demand for money, bonds, current output must be equal to 0, because Waller's law states that in an economy with multiple markets, the total excess demand across all markets must equal to 0. This means that if there is excess demand in some markets, such as money market, money or bonds, then there must be an equal amount of excess supply in other markets. So therefore, when considering the excess demand for money, bonds or current output, the overall sum must balance out to 0. So right option is 0. Option number C. Then question number 35. Impossibility trinity refers to the dilemma that a country cannot simultaneously have control over a. So impossibility trinity means we cannot achieve the 3 in at a time. Generally, the impossibility trinity, it is also known as the impossibility trilemma. Trinity or trilemma, it states that a country cannot simultaneously achieve all the 3 goals at a time. So first one is fixed exchange rate, monetary policy and maintain an open capital account. Yes, this is the right option. We cannot achieve these 3 goals at a time: fixed exchange rate, monetary policy and maintain an open capital account, because we know that a country can choose any 2 of these 3 options, but not all the 3 at the same time. For example, if we can take, if a country opts for a fixed exchange rate and we can say open capital account market, so it must forgo or sacrifice the control over its monetary policy. So option A is right here. Then question number 36. How does expansionary monetary policy affect the rate of interest and the level of income? So first one is when expansionary monetary policy occurred, we know that what is the effect on the level of income and interest rate. So first, if we take the level of income or interest rate, first we take the change in interest rate. Interest rate, when central bank implement expansionary policy means what? Lowering the discount rate or purchasing government securities. Expansionary policy, then it reduces the cost of borrowing. Then this leads to lower interest rate. So here rate of interest falls when expansionary monetary policy adopted by central bank. Then what happened to level of income? Level of income, when lower interest rate encourage borrowing and investment by businesses and consumers, which can boost spending and aggregate demand, leading to higher level of income and economic growth. The level of income and economic growth here rises due to expansionary monetary policy. So it raises the level of income but lowers the rate of interest. Yes, option C is right here. It raises the level of income here rises and lowers the rate of interest decreases here. So option C is right here. Then question number 37. Keynes effect arises because variation in price level changes real quantity of money, transactions velocity of money, money wage rate, or none of this. So according to Keynes effect, it arises because variation in the price level changes its real quantity of money. Option A is right here, because the Keynes effect refers to relationship between the price level and the real quantity of money in the economy. When the price level decreases, the real quantity of money or the nominal money supplied adjusted for the price level increases. So this increase can lead to lower interest rate, which in turn stimulate investment and consumption, ultimately boosting economic activity. Therefore, variation in the price level affect the real quantity of money, influencing overall economic conditions. So here option A is right here. Then question number 38. Which of the following statement are true? First one is GNP at factor cost. GNP, gross national product at factor cost. GDP at factor cost plus NFIA, net factor income from abroad. Yes, when we add GDP at factor cost plus net factor from abroad, it is called as GNP. If when we plus GDP plus NFIA is equal to GNP, GDP plus NFIA is equal to GNP. Means domestic plus NFIA is equal to national. Then gross national product at market price is equal to GNP at factor cost plus indirect tax minus subsidy. Yes, GNP at market price. To find out market price, we add the net indirect tax or indirect tax minus subsidy. GNP at factor cost, if we find market price, then it is factor cost plus net indirect tax, or we can say indirect tax minus subsidy to find out market price. So this is also right. Then question option 3, GDP at market price is equal to GDP at factor cost plus indirect minus subsidy. Yes, this is also same. To find out market price, we have to add in the factor cost. In factor cost, we add net indirect tax or indirect tax minus subsidy. So this is also right. So here all 1, 2, 3, all the statements are correct here. These are the concept related with national income. Then question number 39, velocity of money circulation means velocity of circulation of money. It means the average turnover of money in a period relative to national income. Yes, it is the average turnover of money in a particular time period. It is called as the velocity of circulation of money, because velocity of money circulation, it measures how quickly money is exchanged in an economy over a specific period, often in relation to the national income. So it reflects the number of times a unit of currency is used to purchase goods and services within that time frame. So a higher velocity indicates that money is changing hands more frequently, which can suggest a more active economy, while a lower velocity may indicate slower economic activity. So we know how economy grow, higher or lower, from the velocity of circulation of money. So option A is right here. Then today's last question, let's discuss the today's last question, question number 40. Which of the following is true of IS curve when transfer payment is increased? We know the shape of IS curve is downward sloping. What is the shape of, what is true about the IS curve when transfer payment are increased? When transfer payment increase, what happens to the IS curve? IS curve shift to the left, or slope of the IS curve will increase, or IS curve shift to the right, or IS curve will not affect. So when transfer payment increase, then the shape of the IS curve or IS curve shift to the right. So here option C is right, because an increase in transfer payment, it raises the disposable income for recipients, which typically leads to higher consumption. So when transfer payment increase, consumption also increase. As consumption increase, then aggregate demand rises. So when aggregate demand rises, it's shifting the IS curve to the right. So this indicates that for a given interest rate, the level of income or output in the economy is higher due to the increased demand, it resulting from the higher transfer payments. So here right answer is option number C. So this is all about for the today's. I hope you get some knowledge from this video. If you were benefited, then please like the video. Also comment in the comment section if you have any doubt. I will try to rectify the doubts. And those who come for the first time, please subscribe to this channel. And those who do not watch the previous videos till now, they can watch in the playlist. I have given the link of the playlist in the description box, so that you can watch all the previous year from 2023 to till 2018. You can watch in a single playlist video. So thank you all for watching. Jai Jagannath.